Ravi was just a humble waiter in a small hotel, barely scraping by with his low wages. His life was simple, filled with the mundane tasks of serving customers, clearing tables, and making sure everything was in place. But Ravi had something more than skill. He had a heart full of kindness and compassion. One cold afternoon, a shivering elderly man in tattered clothes stumbled past the glass doors of the restaurant. Ravi noticed the man's weak steps as he tried to stay upright, his eyes sunken from hunger. At first, Ravi hesitated. He had been warned about not giving food to those who couldn't pay. The manager had been clear about company policies. No exceptions. But something inside Ravi stirred. His mother's voice echoed in his head. Help those in need, no matter the cost. With no second thought, Ravi rushed to the elderly man, inviting him inside. He went against the rules. Ravi offered him the best food the hotel could serve. He didn't ask questions. The elderly man, with tears in his eyes, whispered a quiet, "Thank you." As Ravi served him, he felt a sense of pride. The man's hunger was fading, replaced by warmth as he ate slowly. Just when Ravi thought everything was going well, the hotel manager, Mr. Patel, stormed into the dining area. "What is this?" Mr. Patel shouted, pointing at the elderly man. "This person can't pay. You think you can make exceptions?" Ravi tried to explain, his heart racing. But before he could finish, Mr. Patel grabbed the plates roughly and threw them away. The humiliation of being scolded in front of other customers hit Ravi hard. In front of everyone, Mr. Patel turned to Ravi and said, "You're fired. Get out now." The anger boiled inside Ravi, but he said nothing. His heart sank as he cleaned his apron. The customers were silent, watching the scene unfold. Before leaving, Ravi glanced one last time at the elderly man, who looked up at him with grateful eyes. "I'm sorry," Ravi whispered, his voice barely audible. With his few belongings in hand, Ravi was about to leave when the elderly man stood up. "Wait," the man said softly. His voice was calm, with an underlying strength. Ravi paused, turning toward him. "Can I help you, sir?" To Ravi's shock, the elderly man spoke again, this time with a warm smile that reached his eyes. "I've seen what you did, young man. Not many have such a pure heart." Ravi didn't understand. "What do you mean?" I broke the rules." The man leaned in and with a sudden gleam in his eyes said, "I am not just anyone. I own this entire hotel chain." Ravi stood frozen, staring at the man in disbelief. He had assumed the old man was nothing more than a poor beggar. "I was testing your character," the man continued. "Kindness like yours is rare. It's rare, but it deserves to be rewarded." He stood up, a different air about him now, and looked directly at Mr. Patel, who was still angrily watching the exchange. "You, on the other hand, are the kind of person I can do without." Before Mr. Patel could respond, the elderly man calmly added, "You're fired." Ravi's mind spun. Fired? From his own job? As Mr. Patel stood there stunned, the elderly man turned back to Ravi. "I want you to come work for me," the man said kindly. "Not as a waiter, but as the new manager. I trust you'll ensure my hotels will run on the principle of kindness, just as you did today." It felt like a dream. Ravi couldn't speak for a moment, but then gratitude poured out of him. "Thank you, I'll work hard. I won't disappoint you." The elderly man smiled warmly. "No, Ravi, it's your kind heart that will transform everything." From that day onward, Ravi became the manager of the very hotel where he had once served customers as a humble waiter. Under his leadership, the hotel flourished, and kindness became a core part of its values. Ravi never forgot the lesson he learned that day. Goodness might be tested, but in the end, it could change the course of an entire life.